It's time for the podcast.
And we are live.
Okay, guys.
Well,
so
not live, but close as it gets.
I have a quick announcement for you. Just a quick one.
I'd love to hear it.
So what we're going to do is, over the next season of podcasts. Okay.
Why not quiet?
Over the next season of podcasts, what we're going to do is we're going to test out a variety of catchphrases / introductions. Just kind of test them out. Throw a little.
Yeah, I mean, this
throw a little
first
line out. See
this
who
first
bites.
part of the podcast, or this first season, is kind of just a giant test trial to see what works and what doesn't.
It's what some in the industry call a pilot, I would say.
Ooh. This is a...
So, what do you want our first try for the introduction to be? Pretend this introduction.
Pretend this is very meta.
But, okay, so I'm thinking... What's happening, Forum? Do you remember that? Did you watch Equals 3? Never mind.
Yes, but like 10 years ago.
Yeah, same. What's happening, Forum was from like way back.
Oh, I think I remember that. It's a very distant memory.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Welcome back to the Cairo cast. It's your number one source for all things talking into your eardrums.
I think we can do something a bit more high energy, like, Ayo, what up, podcast?
Okay.
How's that?
Okay, let's try
I
that.
think it's very Logan Paul inspired.
3, 2, 1.
Ayo, what's up, podcast?
What's up, podcast?
Hi, guys.
Here we are. And today,
Holy shit.
And get this. This is kind of strange. This is kind of new for the Cairo cast. We're going to talk.
Wait, we're going to talk?
We're gonna like
I don't think
take
we've
some
talked
ideas,
ever.
and we're going to go ahead and discuss them up a little bit.
Gray's pulling out his little tiny notebook right
you
there.
know, I have a little journal like where I keep my nice little ideas.
You know, I'm really impressed by
podcast.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice.
You
right?
got it, and I was like, damn, Gray.
I've classed
You're
up.
winning at life right now.
Exactly. Thank you. You know what? I've been waiting for someone to compliment it.
You've gotten tons of compliments
Only
on
from
it.
Mr. White. Mr. White is like...
Is he
he
you can't say
literally-
that. You can't say that. Wait, Mr. White's like a very...
Yeah, whatever. Only from one of my
Holy
teachers.
crap, it's raining. We are in... Guys, this is incredible.
By the way...
We are in a country in Africa. And
I
it's
think,
raining.
The name of the freaking podcast
Okay,
is
yeah, we're in Cairo.
Cast.
Yeah, we're in Cairo and it's raining.
I think we can divulge that much
Okay,
information.
I know we talked about this in the last podcast, but I think it's kind of crazy that it's raining in Egypt so much.
I know.
Right now.
I think it's because of the podcast. God is blessing Egypt.
Every time we want to go out and
of the
record on the
podcast.
roof, it's raining.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just want to give the listeners a quick little snapshot of what's going on right now. We have a dual mic set up. It finally happened.
You have your podcast voice on.
I know, but man, I can't help it with this dual podcast
I know.
setup.
I have my podcast voice on
Dude,
too.
I'm looking at you, but I can only see your eyes, and that's the sign of a good podcast.
I just want to see your eyes, Gray.
I just want to see a pop mic right up to the nose, and then your eyes. Okay, so a few ideas to talk about today, and as you know, around these parts, we don't exactly listen to things like schedules and strict regiments.
Frick
we kind
that.
of slide around it like it's an ice hockey, a little bit of a. And I would say we are the ice hockey of podcasts.
Yeah, this is a great emulation of what our conversations are like in real life.
You could listen to this podcast and not know what and never watch an ice hockey game, and I feel like you would know what ice hockey is just from my description of the podcast as an ice hockey podcast.
Wonderful.
So
give us the first topic right here.
I'm gonna go ahead and slide these right into your eardrums.
In my
We
eardrums DMs.
teased this one in the second episode, slaughterhouses. That's a nice happy one.
Very interesting. Continue.
Is there objectively good art? And I feel like that's a really interesting one.
That's
the
very good
one
one.
I'm most excited for. Gun control. Uh-oh.
Wha-
Getting a little edgy.
Me wow, wee wow, wee wow.
Wee-oo.
Edge alert.
How-
Edge alert.
And how to stay organized. And it's not the best list we've had. We've had more expansive ones.
I'm sure we'll branch off into cooler
Exactly.
topics.
Yeah.
Wow, dude,
I also have
motorcycles are so active tonight.
They're also pretty I feel like they give us a nice ambiance. We have a nice little it's called the Cairo cast. We got to show how it feels to be
This is
Cairo.
Cairo. I feel like this embodies our title very well.
Exactly. And the other thing I wanted to mention was I have a little tidbit to continue on addiction.
Okay.
So let's start off by with something a little
Oh,
with
you just
something less
dropped your book.
with something less intense. And I just want to ask you, how's your day going? How's your day? How'd it go? How's your day?
Today was an interesting day. I don't really want to go into details, but I got into trouble today.
Uh-oh.
It's fine though. I figured it out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you weren't at school today.
Oh, with the school.
Yeah. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
No, it wasn't bad.
Was there a
It was like a tiny little slap on the wrist.
what was it because of?
Attendance.
Oh.
And this time it was really not
That
my
was
fault.
only PDA. That's kind of lame.
PDA.
Yeah.
I'm not a very PDA person.
I know. But it would have been fun if you were like, I was on the roof and I was freaking making out.
No, it was attendance.
That's
and
okay.
I got a little slap on the wrist.
I'm
But
sorry
not
to
really.
hear that.
I
you know-
can't go off campus anymore.
Oh. Gosh
Yeah.
darn it, that's bad.
You know what? I think it'll help me stay organized.
What if you just, what if you leave during lunch and then don't come back?
Not allowed.
Oh, you lost all your off campus. What
Yeah.
if it's in the morning? You can come late, right?
Yeah, I can
You
not come to morning classes. No, I mean morning flexes.
And he said that was okay specifically, or you're just...
I mean,
you
yeah,
can't
off
stop
campus
you.
is like you have to be on campus to be
First.
off campus.
All right. Well, we'll get that little...
Yeah. Wait. So
we'll
that
get
was
the
that was
slow
my
talk
day.
out of the way. I just
How was no. I want
I thought you'd never ask.
to. How was your day, Gray?
It was pretty good. Kind of just chilled. I went to school. Oh,
Today was your chill day, right?
both my days are chill days, dude. Honestly, it's second semester of senior year, and I'm non-IB.
I wish I could say the same.
One of my classes is over.
Which one?
We're just doing review now. Physics.
Whoa, really?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's pretty lit. The other thing I wanted to share was I had band practice today, and I did my drum solo, and holy crap, it's even scarier the second time somehow.
Your drum solo? Oh, you're doing it tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
It's tomorrow.
it's tomorrow, dude.
I'm gonna skip that.
I'm gonna have some stress dreams. Honestly, please do.
No, it's not because of you. I'd actually love to see your drum solo. I'm pretty sure you can show me anytime, but they're gonna show my art,
Oh,
my
get you.
my film, and I really don't want to be there when they show it to to the whole school. So
and
that is why your boy will be out of there.
well, I'm sorry to hear that,
It's
but
okay.
at the same time, it's fine.
It is fine.
All right, so before we really get into the meat of the podcast, if you imagine that we're a side dish right now. We're side dishing it.
We're peeling
we're
the skin off.
appetizing. We're appetizing. I do want to say thank you to all the people who gave us feedback, family, friends. That one guy on SoundCloud who left a comment.
We actually appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, we do, and we're trying to make it better, bit by bit. As you can tell, I'm sure that you've. I mean, I've noticed that the quality of the podcast has gone.
Oh,
up.
every podcast it's just gone one like little notch up.
Yeah,
in
and
quality.
I feel. I'm happy about that.
Christopher Walken? Is that you?
I don't want to do a Chris. I feel like that's such a basic impression. I'm not.
You used to do that in like 9th grade,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
With
That's okay. It's because I had one funny joke, and you know what? I'll break it out just for the podcast.
Let's hear your Christopher Walken expression.
You put clothes in me, Christopher Walken closet. It's not.
Christopher Walken.
It's not terrible.
That was
But-
a genuine laugh, actually. like,
It's not terrible.
it's not
My
bad.
impersonation's not great, but the joke's not terrible. So look,
I don't think either of them are terrible. So,
you know what, man? I appreciate that.
touch my knuckles, dude.
Every time we record a podcast, I hate you slightly less.
That's good.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we really take our fork and knife and really get our steak knife in there?
Dude,
cut off a cutlet.
I have my cutlery ready.
Dude, me too.
Ching, 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 ching.
I'm putting the bib on. And, yeah, I'm ready to get into the gravy, get into the meat. Why is this podcast so...
the mashed potatoes.
I feel like we're being very strange this podcast.
I think we're even more conversational.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get to it.
I don't want to start out with slaughterhouses. I want to start out with, is there objectively good art? So look,
Which one?
is there objectively good art? I want to start with it.
You want to start off the
I feel
topic?
like slaughterhouses is too dark for our first
Yeah, we
episode.
should start off nice and
I want to make everyone
edge-free.
comfortable. Come sit down by the fireplace, take a nice seat, get under the blankets, have a hot cocoa. That's what I want to
whip out the politics.
Yeah, before we
later.
get really into the edgy stuff.
Like, what made you think of this topic? What was the genesis of this idea?
I was sitting in math class.
Math.
And I was listening to music, and I was really caffeinated. And I was like, man, this is a good song. And then I was like, is it a good song? And that's it. I wrote it down.
Is this a good song?
And that's
Hmm.
that really gets down to it. So I think we kind of talked about objectivity before.
Yeah,
with
with the
morality.
religion.
Um,
Yeah.
And I think there really, it's difficult to say that there's any objectivity in human experience.
Yeah.
But I think especially in art, it's hard to say that anything is objectively good.
I mean, yeah, we all have our different interpretations of things and different experiences that lead us to like or dislike different things.
And I think for the first time in podcast history, me and you might disagree a little bit on this.
Okay.
Because I
I'm
know that you
interested.
have some opinions that differ from mine. Don't bark again, Marley.
Gray's dog's just looking at us.
He's threatening to
he's
bark.
walking away.
He's like, I know you have expensive sound
I
equipment.
know you
out
guys
there.
are recording a podcast.
Wouldn't it be a shame
he's
if
trying to
I
come
just
in.
barked?
Marley, I swear to God.
I'm sorry, dude.
GTFO.
He's strolling away.
He's just limp. He has a very interesting walk.
He's
Anyway,
away.
yeah, I'm really interested in what you have to say.
Okay, so I think my kind of the way I view art is there are, and I'm gonna start off with music because I think you can kind of extrapolate my opinion from my opinion specifically
sure.
about music. I feel like there are two parts of music. There's the first part, which is artistry, and there's the second part, which is just like vibes.
Vibes.
So like I can listen to Lil Pump sometimes, and I'll be like, this is hype, and like it'll be nice to listen to at a party or whatever. But that doesn't necessarily mean I think he's a good artist. I just
Okay,
think
yeah.
the
No, I
music
totally agree.
is fun to listen to.
Right.
And so I think I have to separate that really quick because I don't want it to make it sound like my taste in music is like classical music, and I'm like
The only thing that I listen to is really high class artistry.
I'm all over the map. But I think to me, when I'm listening, when I'm in the mood to like listen to art and like analyze and appreciate, you can really tell when there's like objectively a lot of skill in
Yeah.
and a lot of craft and a lot of thought that went into a song.
I'm totally agreeing with you right now.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm.
Okay.
I think where it gets a little.
I'm
different
excited,
is where it
dude.
gets to screamo music and metal.
Oh,
music.
okay. Okay.
Now I'm not saying that there's no skill in screamo music, but I think the problem there's a inherent problem with screamo music, and that's that when you're sharing an emotion, it has to be an emotion that you are feeling in the moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're writing a song about a feeling, or you're making art about trying to express yourself.
Right.
And I feel like there's an inherent issue there because metal music is expressing anger, and anger is a very in the moment.
You know,
in the heat of the moment thing.
I have yet to listen to a screamo song that is angry, or yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm pissing off a lot of people here.
No,
I'm
no, it's a valid
generalizing.
opinion.
I'm
Yeah.
generalizing.
But most screamo music that I've listened to, they're about love and like their everyday problems. It's screamo is just I feel like the way the voice is used, which is like, and it comes from the back of the throat, and it's surprisingly difficult to produce.
I don't doubt it. My opinion is kind of shaped by what I've heard from the people who I know who listen to screamo music, like not just like, oh, this is cool. Like I know that you occasionally listen to screamo
Yeah, I'll
music,
dabble
but it's not like your main taste in music
for
is
sure.
screamo.
Yeah.
The people who I've met whose main taste in screamo, whose main taste in music is screamo, have told me that the reason they enjoy it is because it's what's the word? It's therapeutic for them.
Okay.
It's I forget what the word is, but I mean it's like it expresses your anger. It feels like you're letting all your anger out. Like, you know, when you scream into a pillow.
Okay.
That's what they say listening to screamo feels like.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
That's the basis of my opinion on this. And I think that when I say that something has more artistic value, I'm not saying it's not valid expression. I just think that there are things that take more skill to create, and that's like a whole other level of appreciation.
Right. That's a very fair analysis of it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, even if I make, like, some dumb, easy-to-make art, it's still valid expression. I'm still expressing myself.
For sure.
It's just not, it's not, like, a masterpiece. Like, if I listen to Lil Pump, I'm sure that he's still expressing himself, but it's not the same as listening to a Mozart, you know? Like, there's clearly a difference there.
What is that difference, though? What
I
do you
think the
think?
difference is skill and how much thought goes into it. It's kind of like, I can make a burger and it's gonna taste really good, but I can also make like a very delicately thought out
For sure, yeah.
experience culinarily that I might enjoy just as much as a burger, but I still know is objectively a better meal.
I think this brings up the Van Gogh experience, though, where all his pieces are pretty much masterpieces right now, but during his lifetime they were, I mean, no one really wanted them, and they're pretty much worthless. So I think I agree with you. I don't think Lil Pump is talented whatsoever, but it just makes you kind of think about how human taste in art kind of evolves over time.
But I think that a lot of what Van Gogh's position has to do with is that there was just his style of art at the time was oversaturated. Like there were like people who were good at art were painting like that. But nowadays we can really appreciate it because it's different than what we experience in our everyday lives. But like if every day you're looking at romantic style paintings, it's hard to appreciate the skill.
Yeah.
When it's just some random homeless guy who comes up to you. I don't know. Maybe, and all my a large portion of my understanding of Van Gogh comes from that one Doctor Who episode. So,
Oh, where they visit him and
Yeah.
they're like, right.
but, of the history, not of. Anyway,
Not his art.
not yeah, but yeah, like I've been to the Louvre. I've seen a couple of
That-
statues.
Okay, never mind. I just had this huge tangent that I could have gone on, but I won't. I'll stay on this topic of.
Do you want me to write it down for another podcast?
Yeah. Put down art museums,
That's a good one.
because I went to plenty
You know,
over the winter
down,
break.
I'm down to cut slaughterhouses because
It's kind of
and-
morbid.
not just that it's morbid, but I wanna research it a bit. I feel like there are topics.
Yeah,
here
we haven't.
that-
We said we'd do research on it, but
Yeah.
we didn't.
And here's the problem with that. I mean, I have barely any experience with this topic. Slaughterhouses, I mean. Like everyone can speak to art because we're humans and we appreciate art.
Right.
It's more difficult to talk to that issue if you don't research it. So, I'll save that for the next.
Okay, while
episode.
you're writing that down, I'm gonna talk about why I personally enjoy some types of screamo music. So first of all, I just want to say that I don't really dislike any types of music. And holy crap, how is Marley on that table? How did he even get up there?
He jumped up on the chair first.
That's pretty incredible.
Nothing on the table though. Don't know what he's going
He's
for.
just chilling up there, dude.
Continue your thought.
Anyway, yeah. What was I saying? The reason I enjoy, first of all, I enjoy all types of music.
Yeah, I've become more that way recently.
I haven't found a genre of music where I've been like, oh, hold up, wait, that's
Really,
awful.
I don't like country music, and I think a lot of people say that, and they're just like, "Oh, I don't like country music." I have like deep-rooted problems with country
Okay.
music. I had to listen to it every day on the way to my middle school, and just
It's
man.
more like an experience thing.
when I was in Oil City, PA. I think I've mentioned it
That's
before on the
fine.
podcast. This is my hometown. The rides to school were excruciating. No offense to my Oil City friends, I love you, but the people on that bus,
They just listen to
not a big fan.
country music.
No, I mean the bus driver would play country music, a country music radio station
Right.
over the bus loudspeaker.
I guess I don't enjoy this, like,
And
Southern Texas country music. I know, but the genre of country music, I don't hate all of it.
I just have I have trouble enjoying it because I associate it with people that I
That's fair, yeah.
remember in a poor light.
Yeah, that's definitely
Um,
fair. But I'll get back to the reason I like screamo. And I hate calling it screamo because that gives it this immediate negative connotation.
Yeah.
How about we just call it metal?
I feel like
But
they're
it's not
very
even
separate
metal,
genres,
though.
Because I think metal music, like metal drumming, for
Yeah,
example.
like metallic.
Holy
Yeah.
cow! So I don't, and
Okay, we'll say punk. Punk?
just call it post-hardcore. That's
Post-hardcore,
that's
okay.
the classic.
All right, the reason I enjoy it a lot is I don't, with most lyrical music, I'll actually pay attention to the lyrics as a separate instrument.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But with I'm just gonna say screamo. I don't care. With screamo, the voice becomes a very it becomes part of this instrumental to me.
Yeah.
and it's just like listening to music where I'm not kind of aware of the lyrics being spoken, but rather I'm just enjoying this music.
Can you
know what I mean?
cover your mic because there's some wind blowing into it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I understand that, and I really do want my opinion to change on this because I mean,
it doesn't have to,
but
you can not like.
I want to be convinced because I feel like there's not really any objective reason for me to not like screamo music other than the reason that I associate it with an emotion that I don't like.
I mean that you.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
that doesn't make much sense, honestly. I mean,
I think that's why a lot of people don't like it.
oh yeah, it's very fair. I mean, you don't have to like certain
Yeah.
types of music, and I hate people that go around and they're like, "Oh, you have to freaking like my music."
Yeah,
because
I know what you mean.
no, just stop. How about we just listen to music to have fun? Sometimes I'll listen to. I love listening to Metallica. I'll get into these
Holy cow, they're
these
so good.
grooves every once in a while where I'll just listen to metal or like hard rock, and it feels so
Hard rock,
empowering.
so good.
It just feels so good, and it feels like I'm like feeding my soul. You know what I mean? My mom said a while ago when I was a kid, she's like, music is food for the soul, and I
Is that the source of your playlist name?
that
Soul
is the
Food?
source of my playlist.
Whoa!
name. Check
You heard
out
it here
Soul
first.
Food.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, but I totally agree with that because when I listen to hard rock or I don't know, subjectively good music to me, I get really happy, and it's kind of like feeding my soul.
And adding on to what you said earlier about vocals, I think there is a kind of there's like a focus on vocals that's kind of, and lyricism.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like over. It's too much because I can appreciate. Like I think that there is instrumental music that's just instruments that is as well thought out and as artistic as obviously as music with vocals. So I think inherently there's proof that you don't have to necessarily have really well thought out lyrics, and you can just use it as an instrument.
One artist that comes to mind when you talk about music playing a huge like the instruments playing a huge part in the music aspect of it is Logic. And one reason that I freaking love this guy, he's one of my favorite musicians out there for a very good reason. And when he writes his music, most artists I feel like kind of, just lay down a track and they're like, okay, we'll need an 808, or we'll need a drum. Oh, this sounds pretty good.
But
when
they don't even make their own.
Yeah, I mean,
beats
when
anymore.
producers are making beats. But when Logic and his producer, they're very good friends, when they sit down to make a beat, Logic imagines a scene out of a movie. And there's this one clip of him trying to explain his producer this one beat, and he's like, pretend there's this like really slick looking guy, and he goes into this art museum late at night, and he's carrying a briefcase, and he's real slick, and he's walking in there. He has his walk. He walks over to a piece. He lays down his suitcase. He opens it up, gets a laser, opens up the case of the painting, takes the painting out and puts it in his suitcase and walks away. And he imagines that as music.
That's interesting.
And as I love film. I love making film. I love watching film. And whenever I listen to his music, I see it.
Yeah.
And that's one huge aspect as to why I love this freaking artist.
Interesting.
I know that's what came to mind when you're like, instruments play a big part in music. Sometimes even more than lyrics do.
Yeah. And another problem for me with Lil Pump, and this builds on my previous point, is that they don't really do anything except maybe write the lyrics and rap. They don't even necessarily.
You think he writes the lyrics?
I don't know. I mean, even if he does, like, oh man, guys, I'm a genius. Listen to this: Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. And now get this, huh? Like,
okay, what part of the human, this human existence do you think? Okay, that's a terrible. Let's cut back a little. What part of our human psychology do you think kind of draws us to this music? Because
we really like patterns. That's it.
I guess
we like patterns, and I think Lil Pump has kind of encapsulated party mood And I think that's
Yeah.
it. His producer is a very smart guy. Whoever's producing his music is making really good stuff.
Mhm.
And I have so much respect for people who produce their own music.
Yeah,
Because,
same.
I mean, then you're just basically being a composer. But if you're just, like, writing lyrics and singing and, I mean, or rapping, I mean, like, I feel like that's, in itself, can be an art form.
Mhm.
But you're basically doing two arts when you also produce.
Right.
And I think that even adds a whole nother level.
I mean,
to the
that's why I have so
artistry.
much respect for rappers or any artist that produces their own
Yeah.
music.
Who was it? Who is one of my favorite artists that produces their own music?
I can think of one guy, I just can't remember his name.
Dang. It's not Watsky. Who is it?
Watsky?
Not
No.
Watsky. It's not Watsky, I'm saying.
Oh, what's his name? He made damn.
I have a lot of respect for Macklemore because he like made his producer Ryan, what's his name? Ryan something. He made him a part of the act. Like all the songs are Brian Lewis. It's like Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Right.
I think that's really how it should be because the producers have as much, if
sure,
not
for sure.
more, influence on how the music sounds.
Oh, I was listening to Macklemore today, or Macklemore.
Honestly, he had some banging songs.
I really like the one. I really like the one about sexuality. The one with that's like,
Same Love.
but I can't change.
Yeah, Same Love.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Chief Keef produces his own music.
Chief Keef. What about
That's
Post?
interesting.
Didn't Post Malone make his own music?
I don't think so. Travis Scott.
Wait,
I have more respect
no
for
way.
Travis Scott now.
He makes his own music?
He started off as a producer.
Dude, good on him.
Kanye West.
Okay. Kanye West is an interesting guy. I do believe that he's really smart, but he's also very weird.
Kanye West?
Yeah, he'll just.
I have respect for him as an artist, but I think he's a dick.
Yeah, I think he's a complete douchebag.
No offense to you, Kanye. I know you're definitely listening.
But I do respect him as an artist, as like a visionary. Because I think it takes a certain amount of genius to do what he did. And also I think when you're that smart, or I'm not referring to Kanye anymore, I'm just referring to like really smart people. I think when someone is really smart, they kind of stop giving a shit.
Yeah, I know what you
If
mean.
that like works.
I know what you mean.
Like they'll just say it. They'll just say things they're thinking. They'll just say it, and they don't really care about what other people think of them.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the celebrity, like, way. That's just kind of how they are nowadays.
I think
Like that's why Logan Paul is popular, because he's attractive to people who are self-conscious, middle schoolers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
No, we shouldn't go on this tangent yet. Maybe we should add that to the list. I do want to talk
Yeah,
about that guy.
add Logan Paul in his like whole thing.
Because I think the story of you.
That's
that's a
really
really interesting story to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through.
yeah. I'd love to talk about that.
Do you want to
actually.
move on to that? I'm
I'd-
down to move on to it.
No,
I mean,
yeah, I'm
it's
ready.
organic, and we've kind of
Yeah.
talked about this a lot.
Okay, should I
But
just?
before I do, actually, I'm gonna go through my. I'm gonna figure out who it is that I'm trying to think who produces
NF?
their own music.
Is it NF?
No, but I do like him. But I'm gonna. Or later
I was-
on, I'm gonna just like tell you who it is.
I was literally listening to or watching this guy's documentary. Is it the guy who? Is it the Let You Down guy? Hold on. Quick.
Rich Chiga. Rich
Oh,
Brian.
really?
He produces his own
Oh,
music.
okay. I knew he produces his
Yeah,
own music.
that's
okay.
who I was thinking about.
Oh,
He's-
okay.
I just have so much respect for him. Like,
Same.
his music would, in my opinion, not be very good or impressive if he didn't make his own beats.
Yeah. What do you think of
Um,
his new album?
I liked it. I think he excels more at singles because
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I really like about him is that he's so versatile. He really, every single track has a very specific vibe, and he
Mhm.
like very much manufactures it, and it feels like almost like a soundscape.
I was very impressed by it.
And he kind of did that on this album. He did that very well, but it was over a whole album. And personally, the way I listen to music is I really get bored of it after listening to the same song like 5 times. It
Okay,
doesn't have the same
yeah,
impact
no,
to me.
I can listen to the same song for.
I'm the only one I know who has that kind of
yeah.
way of listening to music. So because of that, listening to the Rich Brian album was like listening to one really long song,
Oh,
and I got tired of it kind of
okay.
quickly. But obviously, I thought it was a great album.
Yeah.
Objectively, and I enjoyed it I just didn't enjoy it for very long, because there are like albums that I'll get and I'll be able to listen to that one album for like a week, because it has 10 songs on it that are all different enough.
Yeah. I've been listening to the Black Panther album for like 2 weeks now. It's so good. Kendrick Lamar is a really, really, really good musician.
He is. Anyway,
Dude, ups to him.
oh yeah, I freaking love Kendrick, and I mean that's like the most basic thing to say, but I do. So let's move on.
To the
So
Logan
I'm
Paul
gonna
thing.
lead this discussion because I feel like I am the one who's gonna be asking you questions.
Okay. Wait,
so-
can I just give a brief history on my relationship with Logan Paul?
Dude, be my guest.
Okay. So, as Vine was kind of dying out, I got really into it, and I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious!" Like, I followed all these people, and one of those people were Logan Paul back when he was not that famous, and I was on YouTube, and one of the channels that I really enjoyed stopped posting videos, and so I was kind of
Who's that?
Clearly
you enjoyed them quite a bit.
Yeah, I can't even think of the
Casey
person's
Neistat?
name. No. It was no.
Was it that guy with the gray hair or the silver hair?
No, he didn't. The person didn't stop posting videos. He just got kind of boring for me, and it was the CTFXC.
I don't know who that is.
It's run by this guy called Charles Trippy and his wife Ali West.
Oh, okay, I know Charles Trippy.
Yeah, and he's the guy that had the brain tumor.
He had the longest running vlog of all time.
yeah,
daily vlog.
on like 4,000 vlogs, I think.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane. That's like 10 years.
I think he was the first guest on Ear Biscuits. If I'm not
I
mistaken.
think he was. Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll let this tamale truck go
I would
by
like a
us.
tamale.
So, his content was awesome. I enjoyed it for I think 3 years, but it just kind of got boring, and so I was on the hunt for a new channel to kind of watch and keep up with. And so I found Logan Paul. I was like, oh my god, this guy, he did a good job on Vine. I enjoyed most of his vines, and I was like, oh wow, this guy's really cool. And at the start, his vlogs were very genuine and very vlog-like. If you look at them, they're a complete 360 from what he's doing now, which is, I think, a load of garbage. It's awful. They were very genuine.
It's not for you. That's
It's
why.
yeah, no,
that's why it's garbage.
It's not
to
aimed
us.
at me.
That's
100%.
why. That's why everyone on YouTube is trash talking him, because
Yeah.
the people we watch are adults and
Yeah,
young
for sure.
adults, and it's not aimed towards us. It's like if we were trying to critically analyze Blue's Clues.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
there you go.
literally just not for us.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I also think he's a scumbag in some ways, which I'll get into.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, at the start it was like a very normal vlog channel. He was just this 20-year-old kid, 21-year-old guy, and he was funny. He was making very entertaining, funny content, and it was very real. And yeah, I started watching him, and as he got more and more famous, it kind of devolved into this like skit, this weird like planned out skit, and he like it got kind of stupid, and I just stopped kind of enjoying it as much. And I kept up with his channel through the months, but yeah, I was never as into it as I was like, I don't know, 7-8 months ago. But yeah, I think the recent events in January really just
Game over. Yeah.
kind of just took me off his page for good.
So I watched a kind of like I don't know how I ended up watching this. I think it was on my YouTube recommended. But it was a guy who was talking about the fall of Logan Paul from a retrospective perspective. He was looking back and kind of watching his vlogs as they evolved as a person who had never been into Logan Paul, and he was like
Right.
showing clips, and I had a newfound understanding for Logan Paul, because you can see at the beginning it's very mundane. He's just a charming guy
Yeah, it's
presenting
genuine,
his
yeah.
life, and like very boring. Like
Yeah.
like in terms of interest, it was in the lower quartile of like how
Okay.
exciting the vlog was, I would say.
Yeah, compared to like what it is now, where he's just like, "Oh my god, guys!"
No, yeah,
we're
but
doing this.
I mean in general, in terms of vloggers, like Casey Neistat, who I would say is
I think
the
Casey
gold
Neistat is his
standard
own
of-
breed of YouTube.
But he's the
filmmaker.
golden standard
Yeah.
of vlogs.
Yeah.
I would say
He's just a different breed.
he's very entertaining to watch, and I would say he's the perfect 50 percentile, where it's
Mhm.
not so exciting that it's obnoxious, but it's exciting enough to be interesting.
Right.
He was way below that threshold. He was just like having conversations with his friends
Mhm.
and recording them and being like, "Okay, I have to go to this, and now I have to go to that." And it was
Yeah.
like a normal vlog.
Yeah.
Um, And
Wait, let me stop you there. I think it was entertaining for the people that enjoyed his Vine stuff.
well, yeah. Also, I'm saying I would have found that entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay.
I would have found
We're on
what he
same-
was doing
okay.
then entertaining, but not for the reason that it's entertaining now. Which
Yeah.
is that
No.
it's
Yeah. Okay.
exciting.
Perfect. Okay.
To
We're on the same
some
page.
people. And you can kind of, and he was kind of going through the vlogs, and you can kind of see the slow,
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but the slow like fall of the quality of
Yep.
his content.
I wouldn't say the quality because I mean it just he just started focusing his attention on a different demographic,
I think
which
it all
is cool.
comes
I
down
guess.
to, I think he, at the beginning, was just doing vlogs because he didn't have purpose.
Yeah.
And he was just being himself. And then as he kind of came to embrace this brand of be a maverick and everything, I think that was really
that
the
was so
downfall,
stupid.
the downfall of him. And there was a time months ago, last semester, when you tried to get me into Logan Paul.
That was like last year.
Was that last year?
That was last year.
Dang. Well, you were trying to get me into Logan Paul, and you showed me a couple of his vlogs. And I think that this was kind of the transition period between normal Logan and
Yeah.
kind of where, not to the point he is now, where he's kind of an egomaniac,
Oh,
or
dude,
he
it's-
acts like one at least. But it was in between the points of like normal guy and like YouTube personality.
Yeah.
Like very extra. Ooh,
that was a bat. That
bat
was
just swung
huge
right by
bat.
us. Jeez.
Holy crap! All right, continue.
But anyway, I think you kind of got into him before, and I think that you had already been invested in him, and so you were kind
Yeah.
of blind to the obnoxious parts of him, which were kind of starting to develop at that point. And
yeah.
I think the reason I didn't get into it was because
Yeah, you're just like
I
kinda
wasn't
thrust
invested
into
in him at all, and I was like, "What the heck is this guy doing?"
Yeah.
And he was already doing that story. He's like, "What's poppin', Logan?" And he had like a midget in his
Yeah,
vlog. And he
yeah.
was throwing plates, and I was like, "What's happening?" It's too much. Not to. Oh God, I'm offending everyone. Midgets are fine.
Coming after
But
you.
like I just thought it was a little strange that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
this like. It wasn't strange that there was a small person in the vlog. It was strange that he was marketing him as a. Barris is doing a shovel digging
You're just digging your grave.
motion, but it was strange that he was marketing him as like, "Oh, this is my midget best friend." I was like, "What are you doing? This is so weird. Why is he okay with that?" But anyway,
Wait, did you see that Vine? It was like Logan Paul jumped in this lake first,
oh
and
yeah,
then
oh my God, and
his
then it was
friend
like the
jumped
bloop.
in. It was like bloop.
Oh God. Anyway.
All right, continue.
So, yeah, I mean, I just really couldn't understand why you were into him. But I think watching the
Yeah.
vlogs from before, I kind of get it now because he used to be a normal guy.
yeah.
And it's hard to tell if it's an act at this point because I think that
I think
I
it
think
is
there's a
100% an
sliver.
act.
I think there's a sliver of him. I think there's a part of him that he's fine, but I think that a lot of it comes down to the fact that he's only in his early 20s.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with this like meteoric rise, to say the least. And I mean, like, he was already a very outgoing guy who didn't have many checks on his ego. And I think having
Yep.
all these people worship him now to the cult personality kind of thing he is now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can see how that would be corrupting.
I think
Especially
any of
when
us-
you're documenting every day. Especially, I mean, look at us.
we got
this is
40
coming
views,
from-
dude, and we just popped off.
Yeah, we got 40 views and we're like, holy crap, dude.
Screw
making-
school, dude.
We're
gonna
making the
get
best.
rich.
We're making the best podcast ever created.
But
Now imagine like 13 million.
yeah, I mean, like,
on
I'm not like, and I feel bad for him in a lot of ways. Not
It's kinda
really because
sad.
he's a millionaire, but I kind of feel bad for him. I feel bad that he has been. I feel bad that he has gone down a life path to where he's probably lost a lot of meaning in his life. I
Mhm.
feel like that's a very strange place for him to be.
Yeah.
But
In just 2 years.
I do feel like the things that make him kind of a gross person are, and I don't want to piss anyone off, but he's just. So I think
He's
at the beginning,
so disconnected.
I'm gonna kind of rewind a little bit. I think from the point where he turned into that he became the Logan Paul we know today was the moment he started selling merch. And
Okay.
I think there was a slow build up to that with the whole Maverick thing. But I think it comes down to at that point he was trying to make it into a business.
Mm-hmm.
And to be a business, you have to have a brand. And I think once he started building this whole image of be a maverick, and a lot of these
Yeah.
opinions, by the way, are influenced by the videos that I watched about Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once he kind of embraced that brand and he needed to sell product, the vlogs stopped being his life and stopped being about his life
one
and about
large
him,
advertisement, right?
and started being about
Yeah.
the brand. And I watched a few of his I watched maybe 5, not the whole way through.
The recent
'cause
ones.
I watched first episode he ever made, and then like halfway in between that, and then
Mhm.
halfway in between, just like slices of the different
Right.
eras of Paul. And I think the other thing was the introduction of his brother into the equation.
Oh God.
I think at the beginning, Logan was seen as the chill, normal brother.
Yeah.
And I think once Jake attached himself to the brand as well, and they made so much money off of Everyday Bro,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was another huge spark. Because he realized that he didn't have to be likable to everyone to make a whole lot of money.
Yeah, and I
They
just want to
made-
say,
They filmed that in one day and they made millions.
I just want to say that there are still people out there that think "Everyday Bro" or "It's Everyday Bro" is a good song.
And they're all kids. There's
Yes.
not one adult who thinks
That
it's a good song.
hurts my soul.
And
I'm sure they're
whatever, but they're Yeah,
irrelevant.
exactly. And I think the reason I don't like him as a person is because he started that brand of being a maverick, and I think what made him accessible to his age demographic that he's targeting is that he provides two main things: something to aspire to, and kind of like a friend. And so I think the aspirational part of it is like, look at me like when you're the age of like middle school, maybe even like freshman year.
Right.
You're kind of like, all you want to do is be noticed by people,
Mm-hmm.
and you have all these people around you. I remember when I was that age, all I wanted was for people to notice me, and you have this influence of people around you saying, you're being obnoxious right now. You have those
Mhm.
people to kind of quiet you down. What Logan Paul gives
Says
people
yes,
is
man.
an icon where he's super rich, he's super successful, and he's being really loud and obnoxious, and people are noticing him, and he's saying, look, I'm a chotch. He's saying, like, look, I'm being very loud, and I'm, like, allowing myself to be super obnoxious
Mm-hmm.
and dumb, and people like me for it. And so that he kind of provides that, like, outlet for kids to feel more comfortable.
Right.
And I think that in itself isn't necessarily that harmful. I think what makes it harmful is the fact that he extorts that feeling to make money. And not through views, but through like saying like, oh, you want to be
Clothing.
like me? You want to be
Yeah,
like me?
be
You
a
have
maverick.
you have to buy my merch. You have to buy my backpack. You have to represent the Low Gang.
Yeah.
For me to like you, for me to be your friend, for us to
For
and
sure.
He always advertise whenever like he meets his fans who were wearing his merch. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I love you. Thanks for wearing my merch."
Yeah.
It just furthers that, and I think that he's knowingly exploiting that audience,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that it's just not healthy entertainment for them to watch.
Oh, definitely not.
Especially with the kind of role model he's setting now.
You're just
Back
making
then,
it,
when
yeah.
he was just being obnoxious, it was like, okay, he's being obnoxious. But now he's like throwing money on his mother, and like,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
and like going to Japan, and everyone knows about.
I mean,
that
little
whole thing.
impressionable kids are watching this guy and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, so this is what I have to do to be successful or to be noticed or
Yeah,
to have like meaning in this life, which is it's so wrong on so many levels. But one giant reason I dislike Logan Paul so much as a YouTube creator, and that I am putting the largest quotation marks around that.
because it's not art anymore.
One reason I love YouTube and YouTube creators is because they make a piece of art every day or whenever they want. Not every day, but
Yeah.
every
They
once in a
make-
while, whenever
they-
they want. And I have lots of respect for, I don't know, I'll give an example. Casey Neistat. So much respect for that guy. He makes a short film that presents an idea, builds it up, and then creates a conclusion. He creates a whole story, and he uploads it almost pretty much every day. And I've tons of respect for that guy.
I still
And at the start,
continue, sorry.
Logan Paul, I felt was not doing it, but he was like kind of scratching the surface. And I was like, oh, I respect this guy. He's like, putting in work. And I thought he edited his own videos at the start, which is false now. But now his videos have just literally become. I watched a recent video, and literally out of the 13 minutes it lasted, 6 minutes of it was him plugging his merch.
It's a machine. It's no longer a form of self-expression. It's now a
It's
business.
advertisement. He's advertising his videos,
Which
masked
again,
in this
isn't
like
in-
art.
isn't inherently bad, but the way he does it is kind of
It's
skeevy.
gross. It's disgusting,
Exactly.
and it's kind of taking YouTube and this platform for creators, people who like to create, and kind of, I don't know, making it dirty and bad and gross and stupid. I don't like him. Stop.
And God,
Why?
this topic has been beaten to death, but
I know, but I
I
think,
really wanted to talk about it because it's so personal to me because I grew up on YouTube.
yeah,
Like,
same.
from a very young age, and I saw it evolve into what it is now, which is a platform for artists. More
I don't
than
think.
anything.
I think now it's more of a business than artists.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is it evolved into this is a place where people can express themselves.
Yeah.
And now I feel like
It's
the Paul brothers are the downfall of that idea.
I mean, it's not just them. It's like, I don't know.
And it's the fact that YouTube pushed them because I know that YouTube isn't. I know YouTube is trying to make the most money possible. They have responsibilities to stakeholders.
Yeah.
And that's why they're doing it because
I mean,
when it
it's
comes
totally
down
fair,
to it,
yeah.
kids are where the money is for
Yep.
them because they're home all day. Just all they do is watch YouTube, etc. So it makes sense from a business perspective.
Yeah.
I just feel like YouTube is no longer the place for people our age, which I think is tragic
It's
because
really
we don't
sad.
have any other place to go yet.
But it makes you think, was it ever?
I think so. I think in the beginning,
I mean,
think-
we were
I
watching
think
when we were young.
not necessarily that YouTube created it for us, but I think it was a good place for us. I see what you're saying here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when I was like 16.
Okay,
15.
okay.
When I was old enough to understand that what was actually good content.
Yeah.
And delineate from bad content. And looking back, I feel like I found some really great stuff. I feel like a lot of the animators that were in it in the early days were really good. And I've been watching YouTube since like 2008,
Oh
which
yeah,
is a
same.
year after it came out. Watching those Club Penguin music videos, dude.
I think. Didn't you make a Club
I
Penguin
did.
music video?
Club Penguin music videos were the first time that I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I want to do that. I was like 8. So it was kind of, I booted up Windows Movie Maker. I got Hypercam. And I was like, I'm making something. So, I think it's
Yeah.
cringy looking back, but, it's
It's awesome.
that whole idea has kind of shaped me as a person.
I remember as a kid, my mom didn't want me to watch YouTube,
Same.
and I'd secretly go on it and I'd watch like toy reviews. I'd be like,
My parents, I had to get every video I wanted to watch approved by them before I watched it. So I could only basically watch Club Penguin music videos. But and I wasn't allowed to play violent video games, like
Mhm.
anything that had like a gun in it, blood, nothing like that.
yeah,
And I remember me and my friend would like sneak on and do you ever play Box Heads?
no,
It was like this zombie game, and it was like very minimalist, and it was just like shapes, and like the blood was very like spray painty. It's kind of silly, but I remember there was like I had been playing the game with my friend secretly for like an hour, and so there was like blood all over the screen. And my mom walked in, she's like, "Gray," and I was just like, "Oh no!"
Wait, how old were you?
Oh man, I was really young, max 9, max, probably younger.
I remember I you know those stick figure compilations on
Yes, the fighting
YouTube?
ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, also the really memey ones. The ones where they'd like animate stick figures to do like really dumb stuff.
Oh yeah. But There was also a website, maybe was it Miniclip or One
Yeah.
More Level? One of those websites had like flash animations of, other than Newgrounds, had like flash animations of like stick figures fighting, and that was really popular. when
Oh,
was a
I know
kid.
what you're talking about.
And it would be like they had lightsabers. And
Yeah. I
Sup-
used to do that too.
Actually, I'm gonna go to my channel and see what the first video is, because I
What?
have my channel.
Your
I have
first,
videos
like-
from when I was like a young boy.
Okay.
DJ Got Us Fallen in Love partial music video. It was a Line Rider track that I recorded on Hypercam.
Jesus.
Classic. How do I get to my channel? Holy crap!
Wait,
We've been
dude.
talking for so long.
We've been recording for 50 minutes.
Dude, I feel like that last discussion might have been our best discussion ever.
I think so too.
I was really entertained by it.
We just recorded for 50 minutes.
Keep
Normally we like, I like check the time around like the 30-minute mark, but what is that? I don't have my glasses. Is it 50?
50, yeah.
Jesus. Holy crap. I don't know. I feel like I don't think YouTube this like
ago.
business side of YouTube just ends at Logan Paul. I think all these different
Yeah.
not creators but these different people they got on YouTube because there's money there now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Before, I don't know, like maybe 5 years ago, people would go on YouTube because they're like, oh, I want to express myself, or I
Yeah.
want to create something cool that people can enjoy. But now you see all these people that are so concerned about, all these very superficial people jumping on the platform because there's money there. And
Yeah.
they're so transparent. They're so transparent.
Here's the thing, Barris. I think that's fine, but I think that there is a platform that could exist where that can coexist with actual art, and they can be equally
I hope so.
successful.
I just don't think those people are invested in YouTube enough to
As a
entertain
platform, you
people.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, it just
As a community, more.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just my opinion at the end of the day.
My first video, Boom Boom Pow, audio only, high quality, has 2,000 views.
I
That's
love
not bad.
that song.
Not bad. But you want to know how I filmed it? So I didn't download the song and re-upload it.
You just like
No,
film
no,
it on
no.
your screen,
I went on YouTube. I found the official music video.
right?
I had a shitty webcam, like one of
Oh
those
my
like
God.
spheres that you like put on top of your computer. I got the microphone right up to the speaker, and I didn't know how to separate the audio from the video even.
Uh-huh.
So it's a 3-minute and 24-second video of my speaker. I literally, in the title, says high quality.
high quality.
And I also remember that I used annotations to put all of the lyrics for the
Oh my
whole
God.
song on the
Okay.
screen.
You didn't
One
have
by
Windows
one.
Movie Maker or anything?
I didn't know how to use it properly back then. Let's listen to how high quality this recording is.
I feel like that's as like 140p as sound gets. Did you speed it up to avoid copyright?
No.
Oh, but there was no copyright back then, was there?
Not like there is now. Like, it wasn't just auto taken down. In fact, I made 36 cents off this video.
We're just jamming out right now.
Oh man, that's a throwback. But that was 8 years ago. November 9th, 2009.
Crazy.
So that was my first YouTube video.
I don't think I never uploaded to YouTube, but I loved making videos as a kid. I'd like film myself skating, or I'd ask my parents to film me skateboarding, and I'd make all these skate videos. And also I used to play this game called EA Skate, which is a great game by the way.
EA Sports.
It's a great
It's in
game.
the game.
It's in the game.
What
Have
are you
you-
talking about? The Skate 3?
Yeah, I filmed my screen while I was playing Skate 2, I believe, and I made this compilation and I put Linkin Park's what's that song? In the End.
Oh my
Behind
god,
it.
dude. I
Dude,
used to love
no-
Linkin Park.
Yeah, and I did it non-ironically,
Oh yeah.
which
no.
is the best part.
Dude, I used to listen to Linkin Park on my drive. In fact, I have a very specific memory of driving to the Cairo airport on my way home back to America when we were moving back after 6th grade and listening to the Linkin Park album and like
Jeez.
almost crying because I didn't want to go back.
On your iPod Nano.
Yeah, I actually did have
Wait,
an
really?
iPod Nano. Yeah, it was like a blue iPod Nano, the one with the touchscreen.
Damn. Gray was balling.
Yeah, man.
Little tiny Gray.
That's a classic moment. God, are we gonna get through these other topics?
What do we have left?
I don't think we can get through all of them.
I think we can do a small one before we
We have
end
like
it.
5 more minutes left until it's an hour. I think we should keep them around an hour.
Yeah.
Who was it? Someone said that we should keep it around 45. I'm down for an hour though. Anyway. Gun control.
I think
how
that's
to
a
stay
whole like.
organized. Yeah, I feel like gun control is
I think we
too
should
long.
save that for Wednesday's episode.
How do you stay organized?
How do I stay organized? That's a very good question. I am actually a very
do you?
unorganized person.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Who's surprised? No one.
No one should be surprised. I think I'm very organized with the things I want to be organized in. School, I have the worst organization possibly ever. Probably the only person that could probably trump me is probably Gray.
Yeah.
But how do you think?
Are you saying in terms of bad organization?
Yes.
I'm the only person who can trump you?
Yes.
All right, I'll take that.
How do you stay organized? I
First
know
of
you
all-
got this book.
So I've had several generations, I want to say, of my organizational system, of like really trying to put effort in to get organized.
Mm-hmm.
I think my newest one has worked the best for me,
This little tiny
and it's
book.
called Getting Things Done. No, it's an official. It's like someone published a book about this,
Okay.
or getting. It's something like it's like the GTD system or something like that.
Oh. Crazy.
So I have 3. It's getting a little tedious to talk about.
No,
what
that's
it's
cool. I
supposed
want
to
to listen.
So I have 3 portions of the process. The first portion is called collect. The second is called process, and the third is called action. So first of all, you take every time you have any sort of information you need to remember, you write it down, or you save it on your laptop or whatever program you want to use, or whatever system you want to use for keeping the data. Then you separate that into actionable items and into like stuff that you just need to remember, like a receipt.
Okay. So which is the processing?
No, that's like you just do that right at the beginning.
Okay.
And then, so once you have this list, then you go into processing. And so the first step of processing is to separate the actionable items into things you can do in 3 minutes or less, to things that are going to take longer than that. So anything you can do in 3 minutes or less during processing, you just do them. So if it's like write an email to someone, just do it. Get all that stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Then you have the second part of processing, which is organizing them into tasks and groups. So say that I have a IA due.
Right.
I have to like create a group of tasks. So I have to break it down into subtasks that are actionable.
Mm-hmm.
And actionable meaning it's not just like it's like something that I can specifically do right now to accomplish a specific goal. Like write an intro paragraph. So like you break down the IA. You don't just say write your whole IA because you're not going to do it in one sitting. You have to have actionable items. And then so that's processing, and then you separate it into groups depending, and that's all up kind of to you how you want to delineate the different groups and categories of tasks. I do it by subject and by so I have the school ones, and then those are divided by subject, and then everything else is divided by importance. Not that
Jesus Christ. Hold on. I've just come to realize that I am very, very, very unorganized.
this changed my life, man.
I think
You should try it.
you just whipped my ass in organization. The problem with me is I just don't care.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just don't care about being organized.
What really kicked my ass into gear was I almost failed a class. Not because I didn't put the work in, but because I wasn't organized enough to turn it in on time. And I was like, dude, what am I doing? If I just spent 10 minutes a day that I dedicated to being organized, I would cut my workload in half.
Yeah. I
So-
totally agree. I wish I cared enough to be organized. And I want to be organized. I want to be able to do my stuff.
I think once you're in a part of your life where you're actually doing what you love, and that's like your main priority, I think you'll find the energy to be organized.
I think a good example of what you just said is the podcast. I am so organized with a podcast.
Yeah. Or like when I'm traveling, I'm very organized because I'm very stressed.
Oh
out
yeah,
about
same.
it.
I don't know. I was very organized in the first years of high school, but as it just kind of progressed and got more tedious and more annoying,
Yeah.
I just stopped caring, and I was like, whatever, just get this out of the way.
And I think this applies to everyone. Just at the beginning of anything, you're more organized and more dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of a semester, you're like, I'm gonna get my butt into gear, and then by
I say
2
that
weeks
every
later,
year.
yeah,
We say that every year.
yeah, and it's fine.
I think it's gonna change a lot once we're out of school.
I do. I mean, look, we've already done more. We've already succeeded more on this podcast than I feel like I have in school ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I'm not saying success objectively. I'm saying like personal growth and like personal.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that we're like this podcast. If we had like an actual grade, it'd be like a D. But I feel like
Personal enjoyment
and engagement and like dedication. I feel like I've been more dedicated to these projects and my coding work than like any bit of school ever.
I was literally thinking. I was thinking about this. I think yesterday, where I was like, I just don't get as much satisfaction succeeding in school as I do with other things outside of school.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point,
I know
like
what you mean.
getting 40 views on this podcast felt a million times better than getting an A in a paper right
so
now.
it's more motivating.
It's so much more motivating.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know.
100% on your page. We're on the same page here.
We're on the same SoundCloud
Yeah.
/ CairoCast.
Man, I had something really specific I wanted to say. Is there anything else you want to talk about with organization? Because we're kind of hitting the hour mark.
I don't know. I think the worst person to talk about organization. I think you should finish off this process thing.
Well, that's kind of the
I kinda
end.
cut you off.
The third part is just going through systematically and solving everything according to how urgent it is. And yeah, I mean, if I can be organized, it kind of just shows that you just have to decide to be organized.
yeah,
I
just
think.
dedicate to it.
And I think if you have anything in your life that pushes you enough, you can be an organized person, even
For
if
sure.
you're extremely disorganized mentally. I think this was the best episode we've ever recorded.
I totally agree with you.
Easily. I think we stayed on topic. We didn't have many tangents.
Not at all.
All of the topics were very deep and detailed. I mean, like, I feel like every topic was explored to the extent that I
Awesome, dude.
am pleased with.
That was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I'm really happy with that.
Just before we end this podcast, I want to give a shout out to your parents and my parents. If you guys have made it this far without destroying whatever device you've been listening to this on, props.
Dude, honestly, I feel like our podcasts have gotten so much more family friendly.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't swear.
We sweared a little bit, but it was definitely within reason. The first episode, we just used it as like, oh,
It was
like
a
instead of
filler.
we just said fuck.
Yeah, no. We just got
Which I
better
think is just-
at podcasting. Which
Exactly.
is natural.
I'm glad. I actually have one more topic I want to touch on. This
Okay,
is like
okay.
a 2-minute topic. Earlier today, I was playing Fortnite. And if you're listening to this in the future, Fortnite was just this fad. This dumb game. But I was playing and I was like, dude, I've been playing this for like 100 hours and I'm still
Jesus.
crap. And then I just realized that my mouse sensitivity was too high, and that's why I was playing like trash, and I was like actually pretty good at the game. But I had this crisis from playing this game where I was like, dude, I'm mediocre at everything I do. It doesn't matter how hard I tried. I played League for 2 years, and I was trash. I played this, and so yeah, I had this kind of like crisis about like I can't improve at anything. I plateau at everything I try to do.
Why is that? I think it's because at this age where, look, you gave the example of League of Legends. You got to silver. Okay, I guess your argument of being average at League kind of checks out.
Completely average.
I guess for me, I feel like I'm very below average when it comes to many games because I just get really bored of games really quickly.
Exactly same.
But League has captured all of my attention. I don't know why. I enjoy playing it a lot. But at one point, I was above average at League of Legends.
Yeah.
I think you were above average at League too.
Once I got I got to silver 1. I had
Yeah,
my
no,
gold
that's above
promos.
average. That's above
But
average.
My point was even though it was like short-lived, it was more infatuation than passion, true passion.
Mhm.
I did feel like, oh man, I really want to get good at this game. And I didn't. I gave up.
No, I mean you got
And I just feel like I've had a lot of those failures in my life where I've been really excited about something and I failed.
no.
I have. Where like I'll be like, man, I really want to do X, Y, Z. This is not the first podcast I've started.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm a person who starts projects like that.
We're-
I'll have like a spark of passion, and I'll start a project. And I mean, like, we have the same thing as a duo, but
Uh-huh.
I think you don't understand how deep it goes for me. Like, if it's not programming, I stick to things for like a max of a week, and
Mhm.
this has already exceeded that.
Hell yeah.
And I think that this is a really good way to kind of. This is a really good entry into actually starting and completing projects, because this feels
Yeah.
so good. Feels better than starting something for a week and being excited.
It's better than
about
just
it.
coming up with that idea and getting that little tiny piece of euphoria
Yeah.
that comes with creating something.
Exactly.
In your
I
mind.
mean, like, man, the amount of positive feedback we've received, even though it's just from people who we know, and that,
Yeah.
like, even though this is kind of a silly podcast, just knowing.
Well, even people we don't know that well have enjoyed it
Yeah.
a lot.
I'm
Thank you.
really happy that I've made something that I've put into the world, and people view it as viable, as like an actual
For
thing
sure.
people would listen to, and like everything I've made, coding wise, even though I had a job, has been pretty futile. Every project I've ever started has ended in me giving up. Not giving up necessarily, but just getting bored,
Yeah, getting just.
getting discouraged, or just not being interested anymore.
That's crazy, dude. People
think
listen to us talk for an hour.
I know, man. And I think that is a natural part of growing up. I think when you grow up, your brain just kind of works more like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's just that. I just wanted to share that feeling and kind of, even if you're feeling that right now, there's gonna be that thing in your life that you find that
100%.
really you vibe with, and
Hell yeah.
you feel passionate about, to the point where you get past that initial phase. Thanks for listening.
On that note, we have to thank our Patreon supporters. I forgot.
Our parents.
Our parents.
Yeah, but we have a Patreon now,
Yep.
which is cringy, but at the same time, if there's any project that I feel is appropriate to put on Patreon, I feel it's the podcast. We're just two broke high schoolers trying to make stuff. We need money to make it happen.
Yeah.
We sunk $100 into our SoundCloud already, just
Yep.
getting a premium subscription so we can continue uploading. So we take this seriously. We hope you care enough to just,
Hell yeah.
throw a couple dollars our way. We don't want you to freaking give us
Yeah, and just
a crazy amount of money. Just anything will really help. Just
literally 50 cents would make us so happy.
yeah.
And it would
You
all
can't imagine.
100% go to the podcast. We're
Exactly.
not going to take any of it, put it anywhere else.
And every single cent that you send our way is just, further proof to us that people actually like this.
100%. Yeah.
So even if you don't think we need it, give it to us for the motivation, And yeah, just know that it's all going to go to the
Yeah,
the
it's-
podcast and creative projects.
yeah,
in
it's all going to be
general.
reinvested.
Even if we're making even if we got to the point where we're making like $1,000 a month and we didn't need that much money for the
Mhm.
podcast, it would all go towards vlogs, projects, music projects, even.
For sure.
Just things like that. We're just trying to share our experience, trying to share what we value, and I mean, when it comes down to it, what I want from this next year of our lives is I want me and you to explore ourselves and be able to express ourselves completely freely and not even make money off of it, just have that support to be able to travel,
For sure, dude.
and live cheaply and
Mhm.
I'm excited to live in hostels and stuff and
For
just
sure.
be living and
Right.
buying bread and eating sandwiches all the time, and because that's all we can afford. I want to be able to experience that and experience every single bit that our year could possibly offer to us, and just share it with the world.
That
And
was
with
beautiful.
That,
On that note, thanks for listening.
thank you so much for listening.
Thank you
I'm honest,
so
dude,
much.
I have tingles from how well we kind of did that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so for listening. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon. I don't care when you listen to this, dude. That's right. I'm giving you full license to listen to this at any time of day. And with that, this is Gray and Barris signing off.
Later, guys.